Hello, good evening. For today is amazing video. My sticky note fell down. Boom. Alright, so for today's video, I wanted to talk about giving something up. And I think a lot of people have a hard time giving up something average for something way better in the future, right? So my story of this goes back to me quitting my job, right? So before I quit my job, I got to the point where I had enough money saved up, and I could buy a car that I've wanted for a really, really long time, right? So I was either gonna get like a Huracan or a GTR, right? So I saved a bunch of money. That was like what I was gonna buy. I had a down payment saved up to buy one of those cars, right? And then I kind of thought about it, and I was like, okay, so I'm gonna buy this car. I'm gonna be pumped for like a few months because it'll be sweet, and then I'm gonna start dumping more money into it, modifying it, and then I'm gonna get to a point where I want another car, and then I'll have to save another down payment, and it'll probably take me another like whatever amount of time, and that would take away from me actually doing what I want to do, right? So I like to look at myself like, okay, I'd have this cool car, but I'd still be doing what I don't like. So that's where I was like, all right, so I can sacrifice not having this car for 1, 5, 10, whatever amount of time it takes, right? And once I get to my goal, then I can literally buy whatever car whenever I want. It doesn't even matter, right? You don't even like think about it twice. You're just like, yep, I wanted this car in this color, and it just shows up at your house magically. And well, I wanted this color. So you can just, that's how I looked at it. So mine, which was very difficult, I gave up a lot of stuff, right? But that was like I guess they're all like car related. So, so I gave up, I wanted to keep racing. I wanted to buy a race car. But obviously racing's expensive, right? So I could buy a race car, then I could probably afford like a $10,000 like spec Miata car and then a trailer and everything else that goes into it. Or I can sacrifice doing that for a few years and get to the, like invest that money, make money off of it. So that way in a few years I can literally just give someone a blank paycheck or a blank check and be like, build me a race car, and then I get a race car and I go drive it and life is great, right? So that's kind of like how I started looking at things. And I know some people are like, oh, you gotta live your life and wow. And I mean, I am, right? It's not like that. It's not like I don't have a cool car, right? Like the Vet is cool. I just want more cool shit. So I am living my life. It's just I'm giving some things up now. Like a good way to put this into perspective is like everyone, let's say you want an F-150, right? And you want a new one because you love the way it looks, but you only have enough money to buy a base, but you really want a platinum, right? And you pretty much just end up settling for the base just because it's like, that's all I could afford. Where in reality, if instead of spending that money on that base F-150 that you don't really want, if you would save that money or invest, well, not save it, don't save it. If you were to invest that money, right? It doesn't have to be real estate or whatever. Just do something with that money that ends up giving you income, that ends up, even if you invest in yourself, like reading books or taking courses on whatever you want to do, if you invest that, that'll pay off so much more. If you give up that base truck, you can buy like 50 platinums a few years from now, right? So that's kind of how I looked at it. So I'm curious, is there anything that you've had to like give up kind of similar to that example to get to somewhere else? And if you have like an example of like you giving something up and then like 2 or 3 years later you got something way cooler because you decided to not buy that one thing, that'd be really cool to see. So that's my video for today, and hope you guys have a great rest of your quarantine.